Hello everybody. Right, we're carrying on with the randomizer. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Let me check. 1, 2, 3. No, we seem to be okay. And oh, maybe the game's a little bit quiet actually. Well, let's get it on a normal. No, actually that doesn't seem too bad. Okay, we've got a list of goals to do. We're going to try and do these first. Because I have looked up how you do them. Apparently we just follow this path and at some point we get the quest from someone, I assume. But if not, we'll do some of the shrines and some of the light routes we have to do. We're also using a new version of the randomizer. You love the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom randomizer? Yeah, they're both also very different, but yeah, very cool. We're obviously trying to do 200 goals. We've nearly done... Well, I don't know if I would say we've nearly done all of them, but we've done a pretty good chunk of them. What did I say? I think I put it in the title. I think we've got like 51 left. And this is actually one of the new effects. As you can see, it's all very orange. There are a bunch of bug fixes too. And I guess technically there are some other new features. I think we have lightning. Yeah, we do. We have lightning too. And now, to be honest, I'm not sure where we get this quest from. Let me quickly look it up. So the quest is called... It's Bring Peace to Hyrule Field. Is that not... Which one is this? Let's quickly look it up. Ooh, okay, we have to go to Hyrule Castle first then, apparently. We'll have to go from here. Because it looks like those two wanted quests, they have a few prerequisites before we can get into them. I think this may have glitched again. This happened last time a few times. Yep, it has. Right, okay. Give me 1 second. In fact, you can have the intro music again. I don't know if that's playing. That should be playing audio. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I hope you guys like. It's only I haven't like said I'm definitely going to be using this starting screen, but we obviously didn't have anything before, so hopefully it'll do. Okay, looks like we're pretty much back. But yeah, I think we'll avoid using the tower. I don't know why it happens, but it seems to allow us to use the tower, but then also pretend we're in the cutscene, but then never actually go through the cutscene. Hmm? Uh-oh. We may also have to leave Lookout Landing. It seems the wind is... Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to leave Lookout Landing. Hello, Devon. I'm glad you like the videos. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave this place quickly because the wind is pushing something, and that guy thinks we're, like, stealing it. And I don't want to be stuck there. So long as we don't get too close to Lookout Landing... Okay, I didn't mean this, I meant a little bit closer than this. Try that again. We should be okay. And now we make our way to the castle. And what's this guy? Well, I know who this guy is, but what's... Well, luckily, we do have this wind, so... Oh, we can fly it pretty quick. One of my favourite videos of yours are the ones where you add the old Zelda items to Tears of the Kingdom. Well, actually, that video... Well, the video isn't getting an update, I should say, but the mod is getting an update. At least at some point this year. I'm going to say at least in the next 3 months, the mod's getting an update. Which I think is adding some new things and improving some existing things. I remember the Gale Boomerang from Twilight Princess. I've seen that that's been like updated. Now is the Hoz guy down here, or we may not have actually triggered... No, I must have triggered this dialogue actually. Let me check, what have we actually got to do then? Speak with the Hoz can be found on horseback just southwest of Hyrule Field Chasm to win this quest. Ah, okay. We go here then, I think. Back to where I was earlier. But yeah, a lot of people like the old Zelda items video. I technically did 2 videos on it. Well, there was one of the old mod, and then someone else also started working on it. That was probably the video you watched, where they added a bunch of stuff and the new locations. Even in fact, the locations I think have been updated. Like the Temple of Time had a few issues with... Oh, here's the guy. The Temple of Time had a few issues with lighting. I think that might have been fixed, or... I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we're going to do this quest really quick. It shouldn't take very long. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that mod as well, because it was... I mean, it is a really cool mod. Okay, weapons are disabled. That's a bit of a shame. Is that a silver goblin? It is. Okay. fact, let's get on Minoru. How much damage does she do? Quite a bit. Oh, I accidentally fused it to the back. Okay, that's going to be very useful. There we go. Thank you for coming, Devon. Or Devon, sorry. Devon? Hello, Beggar Brent? Brent? I don't know, sorry. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Mispronunciation, I should say. Can't say anything. Okay, it looks like there's a Phantom Ganon spawning back there. Is that true? Or it could just be a project. No, it is. Okay, do we have our sword back? We don't just yet. What to do, what to do. Ooh, I feel like I dodged that. Till we get our sword back, not a lot I can do, really. Okay, that was actually way too much damage. Let's just kill him. Get out the way. Was hoping he dropped more than that. Now we head back out to Lookout Landing. Pick up some talk to the guy, and hopefully he gives us the 2 quests. I don't know why I'm still wearing the stealth set, actually. Let's switch to Phantom stuff. Now, are you the guy with the quest? Yes, there we go. Talus was one of them. What was the other quest? Complete. Wanted. Hinox. Okay, well, let's do these. Okay, Hinox first. In fact, we even know where that Hinox is. Let's heal up first, though. I think that'll probably do. And let's go... We'll go from the tower and sail down. And then maybe we'll do the shrines next. Once we've done these 2. I think this guy is just a blue Hinox. Although I guess he could be leveled, so maybe it will be a black Hinox. But probably just a blue. Oh, no, never mind, it's a red. Thank you. I assume you mean videos. Yes, thank you. Wake him up. And can I use a sword yet? You can. And he actually has pretty good stuff considering he's just a red Enox. I would also assume we actually have to turn it in, so let's do this one next. Luckily we've been to this shrine. Have you got a favourite video, Hiba or Heba? Where is this? Okay. I didn't really want to go here. Let's go up. And defeat the Talus. We have other ones called the I should look up what you have to do actually for the monster collection stuff. Monster collection starts in Terrytown, whatever. Okay, it looks like we have another prerequisite for those quests as well. Is that Talus? Wakey wakey. Where's this thing? Oh, it's all the way there. Okay, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, there we go. Let's go for, have we got any bombs? No, we don't. How much damage does this do? Oh, pretty good. I'll just do this. Lucky, your stamina will be refilled. That's kind of nice. Oof. Okay. I don't know what happened there. I think that like cutscene stopped me. Okay, there we go. Get some of these. We do, I think that gave us a bird egg, and we do need bird eggs too. We're also just about to get a blood moon. Turn these two quests in. Down here. See if we can turn them in before the blood moon. Is this where you get the... Are they like medals? I think the key items, or is that for a different thing? There we go. Two goals done already. Should pop up in a second. There we go. Oh, blood moon. There we go. Next, let's do... I guess we can do some of these. These shouldn't take too long. We'll go from... Yeah. I think I'll leave the temple goals to last. Do the easy stuff and then, well, I guess the temples aren't hard, but they do take a little bit longer. I quite like this, the visual effect. It doesn't block the screen, but it does kind of dramatically change everything. Now, is there a pen related quest around here? The guy. See? I don't think so. Around here. No. Nope. Okay, it looks like he doesn't have a quest around here, which is nice. We can swim up the waterfall, so we might as well. Hello, Legend of Zelda 64. It's going well, thank you. In fact, the channel's doing really well recently. I think we've had like 700 more subscribers in the last month. So, kind of like more or less 10% of all subscribers have been in the last month. So, things in terms of the channel is going well. For me personally, things are also going pretty good. Yeah. How are you doing? What have we got? Okay, no teleport, please. Then if we got another waterfall, just that one, I think. In fact, what's this thing called? Okay, it is a cave. Oh, I was wondering if it was in there, but I don't think it is. Doing well, thanks. It's a beautiful spring day here in the States. That's nice. It is also, well, I mean, it's not too pretty at the moment, but it has warmed up quite a bit in the UK. The past 3 or 4 days have been a bit warmer. Maybe not warm enough to be classed as warm, but warmer and quite a bit sunnier. Where am I going? This way. We'll also try and do the clothing goals we've got, but we may have to delete 2 of the older goals to do that. Don't really care about that guy. Yeah, Link is currently in a scorching environment, but, well, that's what it looks like. What do you guys think this effect is from? Because it's obviously something in the base game. Is it when you just go in the depths with the fire mountain? Fire temple? How many goals so far? Well, we've completed 2 so far, so that would put us on. I quite enjoy watching them go through. We've got 46 left. It looks like the heat waves in the depths, yeah. Or, you know when you enter like I was thinking it could have been when you enter a warm area and you don't have like protection. Or warm, I mean the fire related areas. When you go there and you don't have the protection and there's like a sudden blast effect. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Or hot springs. Well, I don't know if the hot spring stuff is orange. We'll also do this. Because there was a blood moon. I forgot there was a blood moon, so these guys have respawned. How far away are we here? Pretty close. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Lionel over here, which I'd like to avoid. Although we could probably take him, but There isn't too much point. Stream's a bit laggy, don't know if it's just me. Let's see, does it mention anything? Just visually? I'm not recommending anything, nothing's popping up saying anything's wrong. Anyone else let me know if they have a similar problem. Yeah, it might be. Try maybe refreshing or something. Maybe... I wonder if it's to do with... I know sometimes like visual effects on screens can have an effect, so maybe it's this fiery stuff. But I'm not sure. Could just be you. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, we're looking for this guy, and then we're going to try and headshot. What is it actually we're looking for? What is he? Construct level 3, soldier construct level 3. Okay, which one are you? I believe it's this one back there. Do we have a weaker bow? I feel like I did. Okay, this one's it's a bit weaker. In fact, let's get rid of the sages really quick so they don't do something I don't like. Let's just take out this guy. With something I've got loads of. We'll do these. Let's switch to a stronger bows. Okay, bows are now disabled. This isn't going too well. Me trying to purposely avoid this guy. I think we'll just use... Oh wait, no, bows are disabled. Oh, this isn't good. Gotta leave one of them alive. This guy's annoying. Fight! The low gravity's also messing me up quite a bit. No, 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 no! Oh, you made me hit that guy. Okay. Didn't really want to freeze him. We'll freeze this guy as well, why not? Let's kill him with... There we go. Get the other guy. There we go. Now, where was that bow we looked at a second ago? It might be weaker. Yeah, it is slightly weaker than what we've got. Did I just pick up the same one? I'm not sure. No, I didn't. Okay, bows are back. We'll jump up here. Make sure we get some headshots. Don't. Okay, was 2 enough? Yes. We did get some last stream, but it wasn't enough. Okay, now that's over. We'll do... let's do... We'll do this. I think this is the Maya quest, where you have to follow her into the, what does she eat? Is it like raw carrots or something weird? Okay, I actually don't mind this because we do need to do quite a few more light routes. And yeah, the quest is a bit annoying. What are the chances this is one we need? Nope. Which light dragon is it? That must be Nadra. Yeah. Yeah, the worst quest we've got, I think we've got the goddess statue one, the big goddess statue. That's going to be annoying, I think. And we have the one for the princess sighting, so we have to do all the stables. Go up from here. Where am I? Here we go up again. Yeah, hopefully we can just run through the quest pretty quick. Although, well, I guess I don't think we have to do all of the quest. It's just that one bit of the quest, so we don't have to do the whole, like... Is it cheese you have to get or something? Or you have to make a recipe, or... I remember there being some annoying stuff. That whole mayor quest stuff. In fact, yeah, it looks like it might start in... I don't know where... This might be where it starts. Let's find out. Maybe it does start over here. Did you have to do the Lurlin Village quest? Yes, we did. That was... It wasn't too bad. The worst... Well, that one's really bad if you try and do it early on, because obviously if you die while killing the monsters, they all respawn. But because we did that, like, well, not yesterday, last time, it wasn't nearly as bad. Kind of ignored what did she say? Oh, there, I kind of camouflaged there. But yeah, the worst thing about the Lurlin, getting the wheat, that's kind of annoying. We were pretty lucky though with, because you can obviously just cut the grass and that drops wheat. And the grass was pretty kind to us. Going. I saw someone cosplay the mushroom fabric a few weeks ago. It was so cute. That does sound pretty cool. I guess we'll take it instead of that. This is annoying. I guess I have to have the mushrooms myself to give them. I think this... Is that the... Yes, there we go. We do have to wait until night, so let's... put down some wood. Oh, it was there at the bottom then. And something that will set said wood on fire. There we go, nearly died doing it, and switched to night. I forget, what do we have to do actually to do this quest? I know we follow her. I think you go through that little window at the top once she's there. We'll put on... I don't think the stealth outfit will make a difference. But let's... In fact, we can just put on Yiga. Let's heal up as well, so I don't have to listen to this. Check if she's still in there. Yes. I don't know how long you have to wait. Do I speed up the time? You know, no, I think she should be up pretty quick. Maybe we do just a little bit. There we go. Didn't hear me whistle. This quest took you back to the similar one where you have to trail the girl in Wind Waker. Yes. Isn't she stealing from the store? It's the girl who was rich and then ends up poor. And Link... I think that's the one where Link makes the cat noise. I think that's her going in. Yeah. Yeah, I think Link... She thinks she hears a noise and maybe she says something and Link makes a cat noise. I think it's a cat anyway. Okay, well, it's a quest updated. Can we turn it back in? Oh, she talked to us. There we go. And then let's see if the gold pops up. Am I missing something, or did the gold pop up? Let's check. Oh, no, it wasn't Thingy's secret. It was Reed's. Ah. Okay, well, that was kind of pointless. Hello, Goron Merchant. That is a Lizalfos. Ooh, wow. Okay, look like he just took off. This one, I think you have to look at the... You have to find... some stuff in here, from what I remember. Thoughts on Star Fox getting being in the next Mario film? Will that mean we'll get animated Link in live action? I saw someone mention something out like Fox is in the new Mario movie, and I just read it and thought, okay, what on earth is that on about? And then ignored it. Yeah, that does sound rather, especially Fox of all characters. Or maybe they included Fox because it's a character that is... Maybe this is harsh saying it, but somewhat. So are Pikmin and Rob. Yeah, I saw someone looking at some like Mario merch that kind of had Rob in it. But yeah, why would you have, of all the characters, Fox? Is it because he's sort of dead to the world in the sense that Star Fox isn't necessarily ongoing in the same way? I mean, maybe it will get another game in the future, but I'm pretty sure it's been quite a while. Where are we in? Way near. Who knows? Maybe they're experimenting to see people's reaction to it. They are two odd characters. Like, I kind of get Rob because he's... I guess, like, Rob's kind of... I don't know. Something about Rob, it almost... It doesn't make sense for him to be in it, but it's less surprising. But what angle am I supposed to approach this place? Yeah, Fox is just like a really weird one. But then again, they are including some of the... I'm nowhere near, am I? No, I've gone the wrong way. What was I going to say? They are using some of the more, like... What's the frog called that they're using? That's in, like, one of the early Mario games? I forget his name. They are using him as a character, so... Yeah, I don't know. Does it seem... I haven't watched the last trailer that obviously shows him being in the game. Is it like a quick... Wart, yeah, that's it. Is it like a quick few seconds kind of thing? Or do you get the impression he's going to be an important character? Maybe it's just like an off-screen cameo. Maybe there's a bunch of characters getting cameos. Maybe you'll see a Kirby. He's got his own poster. Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe Nintendo are looking at doing a bunch of stuff for the other franchises. I still kind of doubt Fox would ever get a movie. Would be nice and on theme for Kirby to make. I could see something like Kirby making an appearance. There's going to be some scene where they go to a different galaxy and it's like accidentally ends up where Kirby is in whatever the galaxy's called Kirby's from. I forget the name. Is it called like something desert or star something galaxy? I forget. Dreamland. What's the name of the star? Like, I always picture a star thing. What's the... You're happy because Nintendo lets modders create mods. Popstar, that's it. Well, Nintendo kind of don't really allow people to make mods. They don't really even like you making videos on mods. And apparently sometimes they even take down videos of people doing glitches and stuff. The truth of the matter is, it's more about, like, is it worth Nintendo taking action against said people? I mean, obviously I've had loads of videos taken down. Even some, like, a week or two ago. They do it every once in a while and then just kind of stop. But those of you who are a bit older might remember, wasn't that long ago that Nintendo had like a whole scheme going where if you wanted to upload videos of Nintendo games, you had to join like sort of like a little partnership with Nintendo, and they would take some of the profits. I'm trying to think how long ago that would have been. Quite a while ago. Yeah, the creator program. It didn't last very long though. Yeah. In truth, the stuff isn't really unique to Nintendo. It's partly more of a Japanese thing. But Nintendo are definitely probably the biggest sort of people that actually do things about it. But yeah, copyright and stuff with Japan is very rough. But yeah, they don't do too much now in terms of like. Obviously, there was the was it Point Crow who did the multiplayer stuff? He got I think he just got a takedown. I don't know if he ever got a letter, but I know someone else that has actually like received letters from Nintendo. But I've never, even though I've had a bunch of takedowns, I've never actually received like an email or anything super scary. You just wake up one morning and a message from YouTube says like, 4 of your videos have been taken down, and then it tells you who it was and their email and stuff like that. I've tried contacting them, but they don't respond, which isn't super surprising, but... Point Crow got hit hard for no reason for his hard work. It's why I've stopped supporting Nintendo years ago. Yeah. Well, obviously, people speculate on why Nintendo takes certain things down and why others seem to remain a bit longer. A lot of people think it's to do with the monetization of stuff. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think they're just very inconsistent with what they take down. There was a thing a few years ago about there was some guy who was actually doing some illegal stuff. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I remember Nintendo ended up suing a guy. I assume this was a cave. Wait for the gold to pop up. And the stupid thing is about YouTube videos is that I know myself, I've definitely bought games from watching someone else play a game and thinking like, wow, I'd really want to play that. More so than things like adverts. Adverts make me aware of the games, but they don't really make me interested in the games. Sega is the complete opposite. Yeah. Well, Sega, yeah, they're more willing to do that kind of stuff. I mean, even if you look at the comics, they used to do the Archie comics, and now it's IDW. They're definitely more happy for people to sort of use their IP in some way. I mean, obviously, it's not like a random comic company just started doing Sonic and they said, yeah, it's okay. But they're obviously more willing to They're less protective of their IP, I should say. Now, does anyone know, how do you get these quests popping up? Hello, Key. How do you get the picture quests? I know it's a guy painting, but like, is he somewhere you have to trigger them in order? Let me have a look. It looks like you have to clear the... You might have to clear the regional phenomena for them to... for the guy to actually sort of spawn. Or maybe we have to talk to the stable master. Oh, okay, I thought the game froze for a second. Let's see. We talk to him.
Oh. 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 Hmm. Oh.
Or do you have to interact? Ah, maybe it's this.
Hmm.
But yeah, Sonic's pretty big for mods. We actually have a few Sonic Frontier mod videos. A long, long time ago.
Oh.
Let's see. Painting of the ancient columns at sunrise. These columns can be found at the top of the cliff. Across the bridge. So that would be this way. And when did it say? It's sunrise. I will edit the time, to be honest. I don't want to wait around, or you could obviously use the campfire, but it might take a while to get it to the exact right time. But yeah, it tends to be Japanese companies in general that can be a bit rough with mods. That's why, I mean, you look how many videos do you see of something crazy in a video game or like a speedrunning thing? So much of it is Japanese, but when it comes to mods, like pretty much nothing is Japanese. And I do, every once in a while, I do get some like Japanese comments on videos. Okay, so columns, it will be these over here, I think. And it's a shame, really, because I bet the Japanese Mario... Are there a lot of Japanese Mario Kart mods? Ganon is going to be impossible with this mod. Are you... I know, Ellie, you mentioned the Dark Army Revolution thing. Is it these pillars? Oh, where's my quest? At the top of the cliff. Ancient column. I mean, that's kind of what these are now. I've seen videos where they hack Vegeta as a racer with custom art. Yeah, well, there certainly isn't. Well, I think I'm trying to think if Torikochi was Japanese. I don't know. Maybe not. And they made some mods, pretty good ones as well. Are there any other pillars around here? I don't think so. It said sunrise. Kinda hard to even see the sun where we are right now. Where are you, sun? Guess we just do it by like time of day. I'll put down a marker and that way we can take pictures and then come back here if they're not good enough. When does the game... Oh, it must be these up here. Never mind. I'm going to say that's a little bit more like it. Let's put on the climbing gear. Got 2 pieces of. Oh, I should turn on the sages. You like the video of the Guardian fan game? Yes. I have technically removed the video, but it'll be back up on Friday. No changes to it. It's just, I'm kind of testing something. But yeah, the fan game was really, really cool. It came out a while ago, and it was removed like maybe 3 days after it came out. But it wasn't removed by Nintendo as far as I'm aware. It was the actual author. But I think they were... I don't know if they did it because they were worried... Well, yeah, I don't know why they removed it. I shouldn't say. I should take random guesses. But I'm pretty sure they did remove it of their own accord. Yeah, I've seen a few of the Mario Odyssey mods. But yeah, you can still you can still find the game in some places. I downloaded it when it came out, but I'm pretty sure you can find it in some places. Not a very long game, only probably like an hour or so long. What's the coolest Super Mario Odyssey mods that I've seen? I say I've seen them. I've watched a lot of the like hide and seek stuff. The actual mods, I guess I've seen a few custom levels, but I don't know if I remember them that well.
Oh. Oh.
So I guess my picture isn't good enough, or I have to talk to him from somewhere else. Let me just hang on. Let me just check. What did he say again?
Oh.
You read through this carefully. I read through it so carefully, the game froze. Oh! The ancient columns on the... I imagine a painting of those columns basking in majestic sunrise would make our customers very happy. But I've given up on painting it myself now that I've seen how terrifying the monsters on the mountain could be. As long as you have a picture, I can paint a copy of it in 2 shakes of a horse's tail. But if we talk to him, he doesn't... What if we talk from the front? Does he mention it?
Oh. Oh.
No. So I don't know what I'm cooking. Maybe being cooked. Let's... How does that look? Oh, never mind. Okay, let's go back, and maybe you've got to wait till a set time. In fact, probably best if I look it up. In fact, okay, so it does show the kind of eye symbol thing. Flame Gleeok. When do you guys think the game considers sunrise to be? Really, really hard to tell with the current weather. Maybe because it's cloudy it doesn't count? Is it a good thing or a bad thing I can't keep up with Gen Z lingo? I don't think it matters too much. Words come in and out. 5 a.m. See. Let me just take pictures of these, why not? Get them out the way. Okay, that's better. Now the environment's changing. There we go. Thank you, Goron Merchant, for the 5 a.m. Let's head back. I've actually been thinking of maybe looking and going around and taking some nice photos in Tears of the Kingdom. Because if I just show you for a second. Watch out, incoming music. Well, that's actually a nice one to start on. These are basically a bunch of thumbnails and all various pictures that I've been intending to make thumbnails, and then I went for something else. But I might just take some nice pictures and use those instead. Yeah. Actually, oh, I probably should have. You probably heard the 2 music tracks at once there, but oh well. Yeah, the Shrek one was from a really old stream, pre the time skip.
Oh.
Wish we had more than 64 slots. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a mod that adds more. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to press that.
Yeah. Oh.
Hang on, let me do that again.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't fully playing there.
Oh.
Oh. There we go. Bye, Goron Merchant. Take care. I always try to any percent, but I think it's impossible. This seed is insane. That is actually quite a nice picture.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I am. Never mind.
Mm. Oh. Oh.
Okay, that's another goal down. We do have another picture goal, I think. Oh, we have another 2. I will do this one because it's nearby, even though I'm going to teleport either way. Would you guys rather have a animated Zelda film or the live action? think personally, there we go. I think I'd rather have an animated one, to be honest. Animated hands down, yeah. I think you could make an animated one and it could genuinely be like really good. But a live action one, I think you're somewhat limited. Okay, so they want a picture of the hieroglyph, but they want a picture from high up. In fact, how does the game... I guess we use... Oh, this is still here. Have you seen Rowan Link's 3D animations, or even Major Link? No. I'll remember those names. I'll look them up. In fact, let me... I'll make a note with them. And paste. I've seen stuff, obviously like terminal montages stuff, but that obviously is animated, more comedic stuff. And have we got, oh, already gives us a torch. We'll use a stick anyway. I actually didn't think this stayed here. And mashed. I've seen the mashed stuff. I think mashed is, owned by a TV company. I think it's owned by like Channel 4 or something. Or it's related to them in some way. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Maybe. Let's delete... We'll delete this. And one of these, and one of these. Mash it up. I think it's owned by a British company thing. And they just pay people to animate the stuff. But yeah, animation's pretty rough on YouTube. I think it's quite hard to... for people to do it like on a job kind of basis. They do hire independent animators, yeah. Have you guys ever seen those things where they have like 8 people, well, I don't know, I said 8, but they have multiple people animate something and they all do like a small section and it switches through different animation styles. Can I, let's not set ourselves on fire. Oh, okay, I didn't think so. Reanimated clubs are great. Kirby Right Back At You one. I've seen Kirby Right Back At You in clips. Doesn't that use like a weird, it's like a combo of like 3D animation stuff and normal? Uh-oh. Let me... Don't worry, I've got a plan. Can I take a picture now? Not what I wanted to do. Quick. Ooh, okay. Yes, Kirby is 3D most of the time and everyone else was 2D. That's apparently a good enough picture. Yeah. And obviously there's the... Do you guys ever see the 2D... 2D? The Zelda animated series? I think Link appears animated twice. One in like a... I forget what the thing's called. And then he has his own animated series. Although people mainly just make fun of it. I think it's technically based on like just the first Zelda. There's only 2 Triforces and there's some other weird things. I accidentally ended up watching them because, well, when I was much younger, I entered like a coloring competition in a magazine. And it was to color in like a Sonic the Hedgehog. And then you just sent off like your picture or whatever in a, in an envelope to, I guess, the company who ran the magazine. And obviously I won because my drawing was amazing. And I got like the complete collection of the second Sonic the Hedgehog animated series. And somehow from watching that, I ended up watching the Zelda stuff as well. Yeah, congrats on winning, thank you. It was probably like 15 years ago, so... But I'll still take the praise. Is that the one where Link says, "Excuse me, princess"? It is, yeah. I won't try a full-on impression, but yeah. And also, it does also have a... I'm trying to think when it was made. Was it pre... Because Link has a fairy companion. So was that... I wonder if that's pre, like, Ocarina of Time. Because if it is, that means they were the first to give Link a fairy. And the fairy is kind of jealous of Zelda. Is it jealous of Zelda? Does it like Link? I don't really remember. Kind of like Peter Pan, I guess. Yeah, through memes and stuff. There's also Link doing a bomb jump, I think. It was definitely created before. So, I mean, that must have been the first iteration of Link having, like a fairy. Which is cool, I guess. Surprised I don't have anything around Dueling Peaks. I think the fairy's name's Sprite. That sounds familiar, yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's even an episode where Ganon creates an evil Zelda. I can't remember how it happens. Yeah, he uses a magical mirror or something that creates like a copy, or... But there's like a episode quite late on, I think, in the series where there's like an evil Zelda who has inverted colours. Or maybe not inverted, but she definitely has like quite different colours. And the game has glitched again because I used a tower. It's not ideal. Yeah, exactly, the first Puppet Zelda. I can't remember what... I don't know if Link ever discovers she's the fake. Or it's just like a natural... She admits to it. But obviously the reoccurring thing is Link always wants a kiss from Zelda. And she sort of just says no. He's kind of sleazy. In the animated series, I guess you'd say. And the fake one does kiss him. And maybe that's what makes him realize? I don't remember. What happened to your screen? Game froze. Use tower. Well, it didn't freeze. Here, I'll put the thing back on. There you go. Listen to some... This is actually Sonic the Hedgehog music. It's from the Mega Collection, and it's like the menu music. I don't know if it's very good for intro music, but it's kind of chill. But yeah, it seems... We're going to just avoid using the towers because it does mess up the game. But it'll be back soon. Just have to load up again. I'm trying to think if they do anything else in that game before all the other Zelda stuff. Obviously there is a moment where he does like a bomb jump with a shield. But I don't know if that really counts. Okay, we're back. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Okay, no using the tower. Right, let's use the meat shield. And obviously there was a Mario series too. I think the Mario series is a lot more well liked. Ow. But I think mainly people think of it because of memes and stuff. I am not going the right way. There we go. I'm trying to think of any other Nintendo properties. I guess if you count Pokemon, there's a lot of animated stuff. Does anything else have animated stuff? Obviously Kirby. They could have made like a Wario thing, I think. Donkey Kong, that's true, yes. Well, I know of at least one Donkey Kong thing. That's known when he sings, I assume the song's called I'm Nobody's Hero. But it's like a weird 3D animated thing. And I think it's by a French company, or I think it's like maybe a French company and a French-Canadian company. Strangely enough, like France and Canada, which may be the French part of Canada, they do a lot of animation stuff. Especially for series. Yeah, the animation was kind of rough, yeah. It was definitely like a... I assume at that point in time, the stuff they were using was probably fairly new. Makes you wonder why Nintendo was so happy to kind of like hand out the stuff to their show. Like the use of their characters, but then later on weren't. Maybe more of an experimental kind of phase. Because they obviously used to do that with games. I mean, for a long time, the most popular Donkey Kong games were made by Rare. And then you have... what's the other stuff? You have some Zelda games which are like kind of Capcom or partly Capcom. I think they are. Depends on the present. That's a good point, yeah. But obviously now they are with the movies and them doing well. And even they have another company doing... they did the Link's Awakening remake and the Echoes of Wisdom. Maybe we'll see Nintendo be willing to do more stuff like that. Yeah, the Oracle games and Minish Cap, I think, are both Capcom. What's this for? Summit of Tuft Mountain to the southeast of the stable. You know, realistically, if this is where your thing was, would you not go for a picture of the dueling peaks? I guess you're pretty close. Maybe you just say they're already there. Is southeast... It is said to be from the summit of Tuft Mountain to the southeast of the stable. Well, south and east. How do you have 2 times the same outfits? We have some goals where we have to buy some outfits, and I ended up buying a lot. And the randomizer shop can give you multiple copies of the same thing. What am I missing here? Surely it won't be a million miles away. It's going to be pretty close. So where the hell is this mountain? Am I going to have to Google where this mountain is? Let's see. Oh, what? It's miles away. All the way over here. Okay. Well, luckily, we'll put down a marker. But yeah, maybe we'll see more. Obviously, the Warrior games and stuff. Warrior games are by a different company. But maybe we'll see more in the future. Maybe there'll be... Maybe... I don't think they'll do a major game. At least not it for a long time by a big company. But used a mod to give infinite stamina. Yeah, Konami makes the thingy games. Is it made by the same people? Did Konami do the Dynasty Warrior stuff? I wonder if Nintendo have done any... I wonder if the Mario franchise has any games that aren't developed by Nintendo. Yeah, same guys who made Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, I thought so. I bet there are probably a few Mario games that aren't made by Nintendo. I don't know how true it was, but I remember reading something about the Pokemon games, and it was like Game Freak don't even make the designs for the Pokemon. They have like another company do that. It really makes you think when you think of a company that's, you know, like, oh, these guys make the game, what bits do they actually do? So it sounds like they want a picture of the sunrise again. Outsourcing is the norm, yeah. Certainly when things take so long now, they just kind of, I guess it makes sense. Things take really long. Do you really want to hire a bunch of people for just like a short-term project when you can't promise that they'll have a job, you know, once the thing's finished? So in a lot of cases, it's probably better to sort of just outsource a company to do it, especially if they have experience doing it. Why not? The only issue is obviously you've got to be happy with whatever they produce, especially with games. If things take ages to make, then okay. Keys, get out the way, please. There we go. Hyrule's finest sunrise. Because I think with the Metroid game... Oh, I didn't put a thing down or do any of the things. That's annoying. We will walk there again. It's annoying. But I think with the Metroid game, didn't they outsource it and then they came back and they didn't like what they made? So they had to like start again. I'm not a fan of longer development cycles. Even if a game takes forever, they can still have a ton of glitches. Yeah. I think that's partly why we see things like indie games doing so well. Is that there are big spaces now where there aren't big titles coming out. So smaller indie games can kind of fill in those gaps. I do think it's a shame so many games now... I think it sucks when a game releases and you know it's going to have DLC, in a way. I don't dislike DLC in itself, but when a game is sort of planned to have DLC, like when it releases and they go, here's a season pass, we're going to do 3 DLCs. Some stuff, it makes sense. Indie games are getting better. I love Expedition 33, yeah. I saw some people talking about if Expedition 33 is classed as like an indie game, and it's like maybe a AA or whatever, but It still fits what people mean. Goodbye, Brian. Some things I think DLC makes sense. Say if you're playing a Dragon Ball game and Dragon Ball is still ongoing, it makes sense. Well, it kind of isn't currently, but when it was, you know, I'm not surprised they released DLC because there's new stuff. Like they couldn't have made stuff of stuff that doesn't exist yet, so that makes sense. But when you like the Pokemon games, it sounds now like very much we're gonna do like 3 DLCs and so on. TOTK is technically DLC for Breath of the Wild. It just got too big, so they made its own game. Yeah, and that I don't know how often it happens, but it has happened before. I remember Saints Row 3. They had a DLC that kind of had superpowers, and oh wait, oops. They had a game. They had a DLC in Saints Row 3 with some superpowers. And either they did loads of stuff and then didn't include it, or they just really liked the idea and it was going well. So then they made a whole nother game which you had superpowers, which was Saints Row 4. But it wouldn't surprise me if that happens with a lot of games. It is an interesting summary. It kind of looks nice. Kind of difficult to work out what's going on, but all the quests of TOTK are too hard. Not all, but most are. Most are normally okay. Most of them just involve you traveling. What a back and forth. There we go. Lovely green. It looks like a picture of space. Kinda does, yeah. Like, what do you call those, like, kind of, like a nebula kind of stuff? Is it called a nebula? Let me look that up. It is called a nebula. Wow, look at that. That was well, it wasn't a complete guess. But now we have this green. And it also... Did it? Kind of... I don't know if it's me. Does it make a... Yeah, really green. Oh, didn't tell me it went. No, it's not gone. It kind of makes our batteries look a bit green. Or kind of glow. Anyway, what have we got next? Do we have one more picture? Quest? Let's see. Are you trying to any percent the game with the random? Well, we are trying to complete the game, but we're not. It's not a speed run. We're trying to do 200 goals, which is the current max. Oh, if only I'd seen this goal earlier. But I don't know when. But Waikuteru does want to race the game. Well, race like a randomizer run with the goals, obviously. So this cave, I assume, is just below here. Maybe not so lucky. Oh, there it is. I'm surprised I haven't been in this cave. Is this cave not how you do the tower? Let me have a look. I think I read something today about, well, it was kind of confusingly worded, but I want to say it was Nintendo maybe dropping the price for digital games. I don't think it was increasing the price for physical, but I think there's more separation between the prices now. Correct me if I'm wrong. That might be completely wrong. Why do you listen to Lost Woods music? Well, the music is also randomized. Oops. Should have been that way from the start. Yeah, there's a lot of things where you think, well, why isn't this cheaper? And the reason is they get away with it. Same in the UK. There's a lot of games you can buy. I don't know if it happens as much anymore, but there was a lot of times where you could buy a game and it was basically the same price in pounds as it was in USD, even though pounds are worth more. And it's like, well, you're buying a digital game, so you can't say, oh, we have to ship it over or anything like that. But the prices were normally like a tiny bit cheaper. Despite the fact that, you know, you're technically paying more for them. Haven't bought a Nintendo game in years. I changed to a PC gamer. Yeah, PC is, it's generally the best for most things. Why do I have a Gibdo wing with the sword? I don't with this sword, but I feel like you might be watching from a while ago. Didn't I have that equipped out, like... Wasn't it a shield? It was a shield that I had equipped a while ago. What was I saying? Oh. Yeah, I don't know why they never made them cheaper. I mean, I wonder if do they make like a lot more money? Do they make more money on the digital games? Actually, it doesn't cost them that much to create the packaging and so on, when it's on a certain scale. So this shrine will be underneath here. So yeah, I wonder... Surely they must make a bit of money on it. Or maybe the company that makes them make that, I don't know. I think more people buy the digital games, more convenient. Yeah, oops. Yeah, it's crazy how quick people have switched from just buying physical to then everyone basically just buying stuff digital now. I honestly can't remember the last time I bought a game physically. I assume you can't blow this open. Let's see. No, okay. What if I go up here? Buying digital means the company can snatch it away at any time, especially if you're required to be online to play it. Yep. That is one of the things with digital storage of games. I remember a while ago, I don't know if Nintendo ever tried to do it, but like Ubisoft had some stuff where I want to say like you could only play online if you had a code, and the only person that would have the code would be the person who originally bought the game. So if you got the game secondhand, you would like miss out on some stuff. I don't know if they do it anymore. Is this? Let me check. Okay, so we probably just went down the wrong hole. So to speak, it was an unpopular move. Yeah, Ubisoft did a lot of stuff that like sucks. A lot of companies, even EA, do so many like game launches and stuff. And it's not as bad on consoles, but playing on PC and you have to make another account, you have to sign into it, and it's also just like an extra thing that can go wrong, and they tend to be just super annoying. So where's the other entryway for this? It's not there. Where is it? Let me get somewhere safe. I'm so bored about stable quests. Don't do them. It's the only cure. Let me check then. So this is the entry. This is the place. What is that? Well, that kind of looks like a place you can maybe get in from. Yeah, okay, let's try here. Yeah. I think I had a problem with the EA launcher not too long ago. All these things, they just add stuff and it's literally just an extra thing to go wrong. An extra server thing to go down, so on and so forth. Free camera, yeah. I mean, you could argue it's kind of cheating, but... In fact, this may not have been... Can I get in from here? Yeah, we can. Oh. But yeah, free cam can be nice because all of the quest goals and stuff aren't always super useful. So obviously we need to get in there. We can go down. Content of all the videos is so good. Thank you. I mean, a big part of that are the people that make mods, but I'll take some credit. Why not? Where does this take me? I'd stopped playing The Sims. Ooh, I'd stopped playing The Sims 4 because of how glitchy it was with each new update. EA, so yeah, EA are probably. Are they the most disliked? They probably are in terms of scale. Yeah, I can't believe a company like... A lot of their games have some sort of controversy. Oops. EA's considered pretty sloppy. Yeah, a lot of glitches and stuff. A lot of monetization of stuff. They didn't used to be though, I feel. I feel like they used to be okay. Yeah, a lot of people stopped playing Sims due to EA's behavior. Yeah, I think Sims is probably a game where you can probably just play the old ones. But is it the like Sims 4 that has like a crazy amount of DLC? It's something like to buy all of it, it costs like a ridiculous amount of money. I'll be honest, the only Sims I've played is like My Sims Kingdom, which I had for the Wii. Let's do... Can't remember what, there was something with that one that I had to do something else beforehand. We'll do this cave. Won't be using the tower because it probably will break the game. Yes, you can spend over 1,000. I didn't know it was 1,000. I was going to say like 100 and something. 1,000. You think at some point... I don't know, maybe... I was going to say, you would have thought at some point they'd do like a pack to release it all in one go. for a much more reasonable price, but... But yeah, a lot of video game companies suck in some way or other. Then I mean, maybe you can argue a lot of companies suck, but... And the thing is, a lot of the stuff, in a lot of the ways in which they can suck, we don't really pay attention to. Stuff like the hiring and firing of people en masse and stuff. Or when they're like, you often hear game companies purchasing, don't know why I talked to this guy. Game companies purchasing other companies and developers, and then like shortly after sort of closing them down. I think Microsoft ends up doing that quite a bit. Whether those things would have closed down anyway, I don't know. Wait, did I did this. I never did this shrine. This is the age of acquisitions and mergers. Yeah. Yep, a lot of companies that have a lot of money. Certainly, wasn't there an entertainment thing recently with Netflix being purchased? But yeah. And I think the biggest issue with that is that it means a lot of things are going to kind of end up quite samey. They're all going to be made to sort of do the same thing. And often they're made to do things that they weren't sort of... Oh no. They're going to be... they're going to not do the stuff they were sort of made famous for. I think it was Warner Brothers, yeah. Wasn't it two companies competing and one of them stepped out or stepped away or something? Take these. In fact, let's... No, I'll keep them for now. Oh, I just have to kill these guys. Soon it'll be one streaming service and it'll be astronomical. Yeah. Well, I think that will probably lead to one thing, which I won't say. Same with a lot of sports. I don't watch sports, but I know a lot of them, they have to watch like 8 different things. Which I guess is the opposite problem. But a lot of it also means it ends up being very expensive. Ooh. I can't believe I didn't do that shrine. I must have gone inside it and then it came up and it took me to a different shrine or something. Let's see it pop up though, or did it already pop up? Oh, that was a... Okay. Another one. Ah. I think this is... Yeah, this is a correct shrine. It's interesting they never did DLC for this. I wonder if it's because they kind of like wanted to move on to a different system, so they didn't want to support the game for that long. Obviously doing DLC for the Mario Wonder game, so maybe I'm completely wrong. Okay, now that's that shrine done. There we go. Do this one. A little bit further away. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure this is the Breath of the Wild was the only Zelda game with DLC, wasn't it? Or actually, no, I guess the Hyrule Warrior games, they had DLC too, right? It would have been nice to have a Master Mode and Trial of Sword. Yeah. I think, you know what, even if they did, let's say with the Switch 2, what if they just did like a little free Trial of the Sword or something along with the Switch 2 release? Not make it Switch 2 exclusive necessarily, but... Because when you think about the Zelda DLCs, they're not... I can't remember how much they were, but... There are a lot of games that add a lot more than those DLCs. They're very much, especially like Trial of the Sword. It's kind of just like a really big shrine, for the most part. You could, yeah, I'm pretty sure you could buy the DLC. They were two separate DLCs, weren't they? It was the Champion stuff and the Trial of the Sword. And then, I'm trying to think if any of the outfits were they separate things? I don't remember. The worst bit is though, out of Breath of the Wild and this is probably the one that needed the most DLC in terms of just adding stuff to the sky or the depths. It would have been really cool. I mean, you said modders make better DLC. I think for Tears of the Kingdom we could get some really cool stuff. I mean, we already do have some really cool stuff. Wow, the Sage is doing a lot of damage. Do we have... Is the Master Sword active? You know what, let's... Let's put on our outfit too. If I'm not mistaken, there is a Trial of the Sword mod in the works. And obviously there is challenge mode, which is pretty much master mode, but with more stuff. There's gold enemies, there's new kinds of constructs, there's some new quests with some new items. They also have some... I think they altered some existing enemies. Well, no, they definitely have. And they have some, like, they have a special Gleeok, special Talus. I will do a video on. I've kind of been waiting for something, checking before I do a video. It should be early next month. Obviously, the big issue with modding is that you don't have the same tools to create stuff. But from what I can gather, the map editor is coming along really well. Slash already is pretty good. I wish it was an official DLC explaining the depths more. Yeah, doesn't. It was. I thought it was quite funny with the. I'm not gonna fight him again. I don't think. With the Age of Imprisonment game, and there's like kind of all these mysteries, and they're kind of Raru. You know, the question is sort of asked. Well, not asked, but it's given the space for sort of Raru to explain it. And with the constructs, it's like he doesn't really know either. The depths, again, isn't explained at all. And it makes you think, like, what was the point of saying, why am I trying to go over here? It makes you wonder why they bothered kind of bigging up the whole... Well, maybe they didn't big it up, but fans certainly did, of the game being canon. But it doesn't really explain anything existing. In fact, it just adds some new stuff. I guess it says, it tells you the Zonai was sort of wiped out by the constructs in some way. Or by that one construct. Yeah, this is the correct shrine. This one looks... what is this? Is this not just hitting the thing? Oh, okay, that's to reset the ball, okay. Yes. Well, I think the truth is, some people don't like it when people say this, but I think the lore is very secondary to the creation of stuff within Nintendo's franchises. And people love the idea of this, of stuff having all this, you know, lore that all adds together and all makes sense. Partly because people like speculating and they like the idea that there's an answer out there. But also because there are so many games now, especially indie games, that go really big on like interconnected lore, and so many indie games get these big lore videos. And because of that, people think it is or should be true of something like Zelda. When only a few of them are like really strongly connected. Mainly Wind Waker stuff. But even if I'm like, as I'm playing now, I'm in Phantom Ganon armor. Phantom Ganon. I'm in a, what do they call? What do they call again? They're just called like a Phantom. Yeah. I mean, these guys are based off Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. And then I've got, oh, this one's based off Ocarina of Time. This one's based off Link's Awakening. This is a tunic of the wild stuff. This guy, I mean, what was this guy all about? Unless they do another Zelda game that relates to this, what was the ancient hero about? Some guy who once saved Hyrule? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will explain that stuff, but... And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being interested in that stuff, but... people get really into that stuff, and then they get really upset when it turns out not to be the case. Fanfiction will solve the riddles. Yeah. But the problem is with a lot of people speculating things is that they get kind of upset when it, you know, kind of looks like that isn't the case. These on? I think some devs like to have some ambiguity. I don't know why I struggled saying that. with their game lore to let the fan come up with their own theories. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people do. That's where I think it should stay, though. It should be something that people enjoy, not something you should get too emotionally involved with. But we might as well put some climbing stuff on. Oh no, they stole my map. If someone gets emotional about their theories being wrong, that's on them. Yeah. It is. But I think it's mainly that people spend so much time doing it. I don't think, in terms of Zelda, I don't think they help doing the, well, maybe this is harsh, but the Hyrule Historia thing, giving it like a set timeline. I guess it's really interesting, but it's always going to end up with more questions and people getting confused. Not that I think Nintendo really care, but I've seen people get upset over Mario lore. Yeah, I don't know what you do with Mario lore. That would be rough. How many times does Bowser die? Now our issue is I have no idea where the goal was. What we could do... How do you set the sensor to shrine? You don't have to take a picture of a shrine, right? But it's normally like the default setting. What we'll do, I'll put a marker down and then we'll come back. Now I know where the water temple stuff is, so... He says. What's this? No. Okay, what have I got to do next? In this. Okay, I remember now. But going back to the animated stuff, I hope the Zelda movie does well. Obviously, I know it's not animated, but I think if stuff like that does go well, maybe we'll get more Zelda stuff. Maybe one day they would make a animated series or something. Which, I think even if stuff sucks, I still like that stuff like that exists. You gain nothing from it not existing, so... I hope the Zelda movie goes well too. I know I'll be at least a little disappointed with the art direction. It'll still be a good movie. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hello, Yahaha. I'm doing pretty good. We were just talking about, I guess, animated Zelda stuff and the Zelda movie. We're just going to do some of the water temple stuff. I don't remember if I had to do the water temple. Or is it just visit a floor? Oh, look at this. I can go through all the goals kind of quickly now. No, but I have to beat a Mukta Rock in the depths, which means we do need to beat the Mukta Rock. Hello, Cats of Nasty. Something about this section I never liked. I don't like the location. I don't know why, but I just something about it. I think I have trauma from places in Zelda that have water levels that can be risen and lowered. I'll pop in. Water levels tend to suck in Zelda. I think in a lot of games they actually suck, not even just Zelda. I think there's always a lot of back and forth, and sometimes in games they have like drowning and stuff as well, which can be kind of annoying. I'm pretty sure you don't have to destroy this, but I'm gonna... No. No, I'm pretty sure you don't. What about water levels in Mario? Do you guys like those? The ancient system and Skyward Sword. Let me think if I remember that. The answer is currently no. Let me look it up. While I destroy this first. Okay, we'll blow it up with a bomb. I'm also going to get a drink. So I'll be back in a few seconds. I'm back. Let me remind myself of this section then. Skyrim? Skyward Sword. The Ancient Cistern. Oh, I do remember. It had like lily pads and stuff. Yes, I do. And you had the whip, which was a really unusual item. And then the boss was the weird mechanical thing. And then you could flip the lily pads for some stuff. I think one side was just a lily pad, and then the other side had, uh-oh. This other side had like loads of spikes or something. It was a temple with a giant Buddha in the middle, yeah. Yeah, I remember that one being pretty cool. I'm trying to think which one I didn't like. Skyward Sword's pretty good, to be honest. It maybe had a reputation early on. I think that's mainly to do with the motion controls. But it's pretty good. They did some interesting things for sure. The water temple in Majora's Mask was confusing and scary. I remember the temple, but I don't remember the temple. I remember the boss is like a fish. And that I remember that being pretty scary because you had to like get in the water, attack it, and then get out or something. I think it was like it was kind of like metally, wasn't it? Were you inside something? It was a pain. Yeah, I remember struggling with the fish the most, I think, out of all the bosses in Majora's Mask. It was a giant sewage facility. I remember it had like some metal fans and stuff.
Here. Come here. Come to me.
Wait, I just realized. Where'd you get that from, Sidon? Why are we going up there? You've already got one. Wow. I guess because, yeah, we've already got the Val ourselves. It must, like, update the model or something. This guy wants two. He wants one on each hand. What a greedy guy. I wonder if that's the same for the other sages. It probably is. I just never realized. Why does it look like I'm climbing up a thingy of pee? Does it it does normally look like that, right? It looks slightly yellower to me than it... Maybe it's always like that. The cats' names are Molly, Luna, and Luis. Well, any of you who have cats, do you normally go for like more normal human names or more, I guess non-human names? I guess Luna's still kind of a person's name. Yeah, no, Luna is. But obviously some people go for like, you know, their cat's called like Moonshadow or something. I think all my cats have had very human names. Actually, I guess you've had a cat called Timmy. That isn't a human name, but I guess that's like Timothy. Tippy is my... Tippy is a family name, and it's named for the Super Mario character. I think I remember you mentioning that before on a Waiku stream. I think. Maybe? Or maybe it was here. Maybe it was in one of my streams. I don't remember. My colleague at work has a cat called Steve. Steve is that's a bit odd. Iggy was named by his previous owner. Yeah, my cat's the same. His name's Ronnie, but he was named by previous owners. Not that he responds to it. You just, you know, you make a noise that cats like, that's what he responds to. Or he responds when you go in the kitchen because he thinks food exists there. Are you gonna feed me again even though you fed me 10 minutes ago? Iggy loves the sound of a can opener. Yeah, my cat, just anytime you go in the kitchen, more or less. These are some pretty strange colours. Dark blue? I guess it's just dark blue and light blue. My cat's actually changed quite a bit recently. He was never much of like a... He'd never sit on your knee. And he didn't like cuddling that much, but... it seems as he's gotten older, he's a lot more interested in that kind of thing. Which is nice, actually. Although he'll still let you know if you cuddle him too much. Make you painfully aware. Oh, come on, Link. Yeah, that was my fault. I should have been facing the right way. I think that's what it is. Cats change as they get older. Tippy just turned 7 and decided to be a lap cat. Yeah, my cat, he does it pretty quickly now if I sit down somewhere. He's become a little bit more needy. Oh, hang on. Have we got a wind taking us up? We have. Okay, that's good. Oh, did I not talk to Sidon? Maybe I didn't. Well, we might have to go back down. But first, let's get all the way up. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. I guess the thing is with a lot of cats, you don't know if they had a previous owner, what the previous owner was like. Maybe it just takes a while for them to sort of reset to factory settings. I remember my parent, well, I don't remember because it was before I was born, but my parents had a cat that really didn't like my dad. Or supposedly didn't like men in general. And because of that, the cat used to just like attack my dad for no reason, but then after a while he kind of stopped doing it and became more normal. Iggy's previous owner spoiled him. That's spoiled him by how fat he is. Yeah, that's I guess a pretty good sign. Did your parents' cat like you? Well, they got the cat before I was born, and the cat was already pretty old, so it did pass away. My mum worked as a nurse, and I think the original owner had died. But no, actually no, I'm way wrong. The original owner actually gave up the cat because their boyfriend didn't like it. And that's probably why the cat didn't like men, because I think the other boyfriend was pretty abusive to it. But yeah. The cat was called Fat Timmy. Because we already had a cat called Timmy, and his difference was he was fat, I guess, so he was called Fat Timmy. But before I was born, so I didn't really... Well, I don't remember it because I wasn't there. I had a plush of it though. But I thought this a while ago. It's interesting with cats or any animal. Do you ever wonder, like, is your animal a nice cat or a nice dog? How do you know when the only thing it only ever interacts with you and it's always going to like you? Is it hard to ever figure out how is it with other cats? Would it be mean to other cats? It's kind of like how even people that aren't necessarily nice people like their parents. I mean, not always, and not everyone has nice parents, but could you have a cat that's just mean and you'd never know? Because it's always nice to you. You don't know until you put your cat with other cats and dogs, yeah. The boyfriend doesn't like the cat, the boyfriend must go, yeah. Some people just kind of have pets and they don't, they just kind of exist. They don't, you know, at some point someone wanted a pet, maybe their children wanted a pet at some point, and then, you know, they grow up no longer interested, and I believe cats sense on vibes. If a person is mean, the cat picks up on it, isn't afraid of them. The thing is, I think most people who have cats, they'll probably have someone visit and their cat will really like them, even if the person in question doesn't like cats. They'll want to sit on the person or something, sit on their lap. Some cats are just really curious, and will just interact. My cat, when we got him, he was just like super friendly with everything, basically. Wasn't really scared of much. Well, I say he wasn't scared of much. Probably a year ago now, he got stuck on a roof. And we had to get him down. Not our roof, like a neighbor's roof. And I had to wait. Where's? Oh, hang on. Let's press this. I stood outside of where the building, and had to shake like a bunch of cat treats, and he still wouldn't come down. He was. I don't know if something had scared him, and he'd run up there. But as I was shaking the treats, I looked down, and there was like 4 other cats that had snuck up on me, just looking at me with these bag of treats. I got him down in the end, though. I had to go on a ladder and grab him, but...
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the cat he wasn't that high up. Like, he could have very easily got down. Like, even me, and I'm obviously not a cat, I wouldn't have been very scared where he was. Like, it wasn't very steep, and he would have rolled down just onto, like, another garage roof. He would have been, obviously, I don't know how he got up there. Well, he could have easily climbed up there, but I don't know why he got up there and then got scared. And where I used to live, I remember we had another cat that did climb up a tree and got stuck. I remember looking, there's people on YouTube who do like cat recovery stuff, and he goes up trees and rescues people's cats. But obviously, like, way higher up. Uh-oh. Oh, what am I... probably a good idea to pick up the ball. I also had a cat once that went missing for at least over a year. And then one day he just showed up again. Just out of the blue. Completely random. Went missing, put up posters and stuff. Nothing. And then I'm trying to think if it could have been more than a year. He just randomly showed up at the window meowing. And obviously he had been fed, but like just no idea where he went. It was bizarre. Maybe someone took him as a pet, yeah, and then they let him out at some point and he ran away. Yeah, he was obviously getting fed. Although people do like feed random cats and stuff, so I think especially if it's a cute cat, then they'll probably be okay. Wait, what's happened here? Okay, the Lionel has started messing up the thing. But there are cases of people, sort of multiple people owning one cat. Because the cat will basically live like a double life. That's why I keep my cat indoors. I don't want them to be kidnapped or hit by cars. Yeah. Yeah, cats do live a lot longer indoors as a general rule. Getting them neutered and stuff. It's interesting about the thing of keeping cats indoors. I never realized that was a thing people did. Maybe it's way less common in the UK than it is in the US. But I never really remember people doing it, and then... Now that I think... I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, of course, but... It must be largely a cultural thing, I guess. Also partly depends where you live. If you live in like next to a really busy road, then yeah. My childhood cat was kept outside. He got bit by an animal and his shots weren't up to date, so he had to be put down. That's very sad. Yeah, you have to be... Obviously, cats will... Especially if you live near a place that could have, like, mice or rats or whatever. It only takes sort of one bite and... I mean, even if you get bit by your own cat, that can be quite... I guess that maybe depends if they're also outside, but that can be quite dangerous. Hello, Zeldude. Or Zelda-ood, dude. Can I get this, please? No, I think that's too high. Get back. And boop. When we had an outdoor cat, outdoor cats 18 years ago with my ex-husband, I was always afraid something might happen to them. Yeah. That's especially when cats get in like a rhythm, and you think, oh, they come in every day, and then one day they don't come in. And people, you know, you obviously think the worst. And then they come back and they're like, I don't know, just went out somewhere. Very independent animals. Remember me? We first chatted on that Luigi's Mansion stream. I'll be honest, I don't remember names that well. I do remember the Luigi's Mansion stream, if that counts. Not to say you're you're forgettable. I just a lot of names go in one ear and out the other. Oh well, I definitely wouldn't remember if you changed your name. You were Zelda King back then. Which Zelda element is more important to you guys? The puzzles or more like combat related stuff? Oops. Yep. I like the puzzles. Puzzles. I always wonder if it's to do with what Zelda game you played first. My cat would kill squirrels and bring in their tails. I don't know if I've ever heard of a cat killing squirrels. Well, I guess I don't get many squirrels where I am, but... Do you recognize the name Zelda? I still don't recognize Zelda King either, I'm sorry. Maybe if I look back I'll remember you. If I look back at the stream. Well, I should do, I'm looking at the stream, but... Let's switch to the Master Sword.
Really well.
Ooh, Sage is doing some pretty good damage. Probably should fuse something to the Master Sword. Go for one of these. Where's Sidon? Oop, okay, that was bad. I think this fades after a while. Yeah, there we go. Oops. There we go. Should be second phase, there we go. What I wouldn't give to be able to fuse things from the menu. Yeah, they should be able to really do that. Because it is annoying when you realize you don't have anything. And then you have to drop something, oh, then the enemy hits you and you've fallen away and... So that would be far enough. Why am I walking in stuff like I... Okay. Seems like it comes... It can't... Yeah, it really is. You should just be able to... Like maybe there's a separate button you activate on the fuse, and then it says fuse to which item, and you can just select. Because the menus are nice enough. Same with okay, that's a lot of enemies. Same with fusing stuff onto arrows. There should be a way you can like favorite a bunch of items or something.
Just finish it off.
Wait, did I not? I thought I broke the Master Sword a second ago. Okay, there we go. Something modders will need to fix. I think that kind of stuff is pretty difficult to implement though, is the issue. I showed you my profile picture with the yellow background, the Triforce, and the symbols. I do remember that, yes. It said, yeah, ZK, one was in red, one was in blue. I do remember that, yes. I think, didn't you ask me about commission, where I got my thing from? And you spoke about, like, I mentioned I commissioned it or something. I do remember that now. Yes, Zelda King, yeah. I wish you could group items in the menu. It gets annoying having to flip through pages. Yeah. Obviously it does do... It does do like your most used, but it's still really annoying. It also ruins... Not only is it annoying, but it ruins the flow. Because if you're sat there like scrolling through, looking for keys, eyeballs or something... Oh, I don't have any of those that I normally use. Oh, quick look for another one. And it does kind of take you out of the combat. In fact, something really cool. I don't have it enabled, but UltraCam has an option where you can just press A while charging up an arrow, and it will attach the last fuse you used. So let's say you have like 10 Gibdo bones, you fire one, then you go to fire another shot, you press A and it automatically fuses a Gibdo bone onto your arrow. Which was super, that was really cool. In fact, it may even just, yeah, maybe you didn't even have to press A, maybe A was to turn the option on and off, I don't remember. Didn't someone make the profile picture for you? Yeah, they did. I forget the name. But I was thinking about commissioning them to do some emotes because we only have 3, and it's a pretty sorry state for them. I was thinking of one, not related to the channel, but doing like a one of the Wind Waker pigs in a Link outfit. We already have one. We would probably replace the one that I already have with the pigs. So do you... Yeah, I do remember you, Zelda Dude. Formerly Zelda King. After you mentioned someone asking about my... After you mentioning your previous picture. Yeah. The mystery turkey, I guess that's kind of a reference to the channel. In Waiku's Christmas mod, they had these ovens, and inside there was a turkey. And Waiku didn't even know there was a turkey in them. And I referred to them as a secret turkey. The other two, one is just Link playing with some pigs. Kind of just wanted to, I thought Wind Waker pigs were kind of cute. So I wanted to implement them. And the other one is the goddess statue from Kakariko. Although if you look at a bigger picture, I don't know if you can look at a bigger picture of the emote, but it kind of looks like I've just... No, you can't really. It looks like I've added a bib to a goddess statue. I got Windows Clover now. I'm not sure what that is. Like an operating system? Windows Clover? Maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, as I was saying, I might commission them to do some more. And maybe do a pig in a Link outfit. Now, I don't remember the gold popping up for... Oh, it must have done. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. Well, let's do... I did the lightning temple, didn't I? Have I got anywhere nearby? Let's... This should be better. Lol, this is a silly inquiry, but I wonder if someday Sidon will grow to the size of his father. Yeah, that's a good point. Is that a royal thing? Do they all grow to be massive and everyone else normal sized? I'm pretty sure if we ever get another thing of Sidon, I don't think they'll draw him like a massive fish thing. I assume the reason he's massive is it's because it's like the other kings in Ocarina of Time. What's his name? Prince something? No, King something. The Windows Start icon is a literal clover, and the actual gaps in the taskbar splitting the parts of the taskbar into pieces in their organized spots. I think is at least hundreds of years old. Yeah. I wonder what what do they die of? Tulin is apparently 12. Maybe it's to do with how long they live. Yeah, maybe is it lobs? What's the like aquatic thing that doesn't supposedly age? Is it a lobster or something like that, where they just keep growing? And maybe they don't age as well. Actually, maybe I made up the age bit. Maybe they just keep growing. Jellyfish are more. Yeah, I know it's not jellyfish. It's definitely something with like a exoskeleton shell. Greenland sharks live for a super long time. Definitely, I'm sure it's like some sort of crustacean. I'll actually be going this way. I didn't want to originally, but I think Ganondorf can spawn randomly. At the moment, I don't think we have that event. Mollusk. I'm sure it was like a lobster or something. Actually, I should be careful. I don't want to fall to my death. Hang on. Is this not a good way to go? Can you go through here? I can. It's just a lot of climbing. Okay. Just a lot of climbing. Maybe a lobster, they tend to live a long time. Only know about the jellyfish that supposedly live forever. Aren't they like 97% water or something, jellyfish? You recently hit 117 subscribers. Oh, well done. It generally, the more subs you have, the easier it gets. I think when people see stuff with a lower sub count, they're less likely to subscribe. Yeah, I think I read about a clam that was really old, but to open them up, it kills them. Okay, well, this didn't go too well. Let's go to the other one. Kind of messed up there. Okay, the other one is roughly which direction? This way? Yeah. A friend somehow passed you and hit 134 quicker than I did. Yeah, growth isn't kind of like continuous in the same way. It goes up and down. Oh, I hate the depths so much. It's best not to compare yourself too much when it comes to growth, because there's always someone out there who will grow a lot quicker, and their version of a bad month would be your version of a dream month, and so on. Especially when you're on like lower amounts. I mean, some of my videos get you know, maybe like 1,000. Well, I remember ages ago a video basically mine would be pretty much like guaranteed 1,000. And now, like, if I get 1,000, it's like, oh, I wish it could have done better or whatever. Just, the main thing I would recommend, try and create content that is unique, but also something that people are actually interested in. That's the most important thing. A lot of people make videos, and you think, who's going to be, like, interested in this, realistically? I see it a lot when people do Let's Plays of games, and it's like, who's realistically going to watch you play a Let's Play of a game that's been out for, you know, like 20 years, when if they're interested in the game, they've probably already bought it and played it, or there's some really big channel that's super charismatic and has played it through themselves, and you know, you have to try and offer something kind of unique. That's if you, I mean, you can do whatever you want, really. If you enjoy it, what does it matter? But obviously for like mods, I mean, if you look at what obviously I make modded videos. Loads of people like Tears of the Kingdom. There aren't that many videos on Zelda mods. What's the game you play? Legend of Zelda 64. It can work doing obscure things. But there still has to be like an audience to some degree. But also, I mean, actually streaming and getting new people in to watch your videos is very, very, very difficult. Really, videos are a lot better in that way. Because how often do people search for streams to watch? Not that often. Metaphor Refantazo. I definitely have heard of that game. For some reason, it's making me think of Persona. Is it by the same people? Or am I way? It is by the people who did, yeah. I kind of remember that game coming out. Did it do well? The game? Yes, same publisher, yeah. Similar art style and stuff. So let's do this. I hadn't heard much about it, but I love the Persona game, so I gave it a try. I can't say I played the Persona games, really. I did a little bit. Because it was like free for a weekend. Literally only for the weekend. And I got to a point and I thought, I'm not going to be able to finish this game in a weekend. So I stopped playing. Where are my sages? I think what we'll do instead, let's grab an opal. Oh, how many eggs do we have? Okay, 11 is enough to do that other quest. Opal? Yeah, Persona games are long. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, did I? I think I may still accidentally have a mod installed that hides fuses. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I do. I guess it doesn't really matter, but... Oh, there they are. Yeah, valves were disabled. I thought that might be the case. The reason they do so much damage, by the way, is because the randomizer ups their damage. Oh no, I'm out of juice. Quick! Quick, quick, quick! There we go. Oh, I thought that was enough. Nice to see them get you. I don't know if the randomizer makes them more aggressive. I imagine it doesn't. There we go, phase 2. I think we'll get a stronger weapon. For the next bit. Okay, low gravity. Let's do... You know what? Let's... Well, what's this got on it? Down up. We'll use this. So first, switch back to this. Get some... It's just hot weather, so we don't need flame guard. Enough. Where's my Rando? There it is. We haven't got a bow equipped. I think that stunned him. Yep. Master Sword gone too. I think we'll carry on with that weaker spear we had a minute ago. Can't really see. Get out of the way. No! Oh. Get me down. There we go. I should have... I don't know why I didn't wear my phantom armor. That was silly of me. Ooh, Gloom Club. Would you guys like the next Zelda game to have other weapons or just be the Master Sword? Or maybe like one of the older games where you have like 3. Obviously you'd have a bow and a boomerang, but let's say the next Zelda game you have like a beginner sword, maybe like an underpowered Master Sword and then a perfected Master Sword. Or would you rather have the whole selection of weapons again? It'd be cool if it could be like the Master Sword and the Master Bow and the Master Broadsword. Yeah, if the Master Sword could switch forms. I mean, you kind of have that with like the big Ron sword and stuff. That was kind of a two-handed sword, right? Which basically just meant you couldn't use a shield, which I guess is what it means in this. Master Torch, yep. Master Boomerang too. Or maybe you just make the Master Sword a Master Boomerang. There is actually a mod that makes a Master Torch. If I'm remembering correctly. I think it's like basically the Master Sword handle, but just the rest is a torch. Okay, no shield. So this, yeah, there is a shrine underneath, I'm assuming. Yep. Question is, how do we get down there? Have a quick look. I obviously could just teleport down, but I don't want to cheat that much. I like having less variety of weapons and they last forever. Yeah. I think it's a shame stuff like boomerangs obviously are in the game, but who uses them? Where is this entry point? Am I missing something? I must be. I'm not gonna, I'll spawn out of here after a second. Is this the way you get in? What on earth? Does anyone know? I'm not seeing anything. It must be like you melt some ice. Oh, hang on. Here it is. Trying to find the entry point. Oh, no way. I wonder where this leads. Oh. Now we just have to grab that. I think these bokoblins should be able to figure out what's going to happen to the... Ooh, okay. That was... Okay, I really want to fight a Stalnox. Again. Switch to a good weapon. We'll go... I'm kind of running out of good weapons. Let's use this. We're already basically on no hearts. Okay, I messed that up. There we go. And let's also take that. Probably a bit of a waste, but oh well. Now let's use... I wonder if we can use this chest. There we go. That's another thing, actually, going back to the shrines. Well, did they tell us what the shrines did in The shrines were for sealing some evil energy stuff, weren't they? In Age of Calamity. I think. They do explain it at the very start of the game. Should the bad guy of the next Zelda game be Ganon or someone else? I think someone else. And I think a new guy as well. Don't be one of the few other bad guys. Sled shield. Guess it can replace that. Yeah. They have is his name Varty, is that how you pronounce it? And I want to say his name's like Maidless or something in Spirit Tracks. Or Councillor Cole, I think, is kind of the main bad guy, in a way. I forget what it's called in Phantom Hourglass. Bellum? Maladus. They actually had they have a villain in Spirit Tracks, which is kind of like a... I don't know what you'd call him. But he's a bad guy that then kind of becomes a good guy. Cole? No, it's not Cole. Does anyone remember the guy who does like a switch partway through and dies? It's also weird because he dies. Hello, King Elias. I did stream this at a random time. What's his name? I'm Googling it, so... Okay, that's a guy. What's his name? He is... Brine. Really, like, weird character. Staven is his EU name. I mean, I guess I would have played a European version of the game. But I don't remember what they called him. We are shirtless. Let's do another... Let's do this one. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not, actually. That's a shrine. Ooh. Do this. But yeah, a really weird villain. He's kind of like a bad guy, but he belongs to a race of good guys. And then... he like sacrifices himself. And it's weird because obviously not many characters die in Zelda. But I think he does just straight up basically die. I want to say he jumps in front of like a blast or something. Yeah, I think a new villain would be cool for the next Zelda game. And dare I say, I kind of want maybe like out of Hyrule. Although I guess Hyrule can look very different in different games, but I think a different place would be cool too. Thunder in the Shrine. Yeah. That effect seems to happen a lot in shrines. But it does look cool. Locomo, yeah. Like locomotive. Because they're all train related. They're train people for some reason. Oh, was that not that wasn't the shrine? I don't know why I just teleported and turn around. But yeah. Actually, I think the next Zelda game won't be Ganon. Bit of a random guess, but I think futuristic Zelda would be interesting. There was a terrible concept art for it in one of the art books. Some of the stuff in the art books for Tears of the Kingdom looked pretty cool. Especially, there were some pictures of the depths which looked kind of cool. What am I doing? And nope. Look down. Reverse. Pop it. A futuristic Zelda. There are some, like, Zelda has weird things where they're like cannons for some reason. But then everyone's, you know, there's no guns. And obviously, Spirit Tracks has trains. Phantom Hourglass has like a steamboat thing. Oof. Now what is this one? Oh, okay, I think I know what's gonna happen. Yeah. So we put this there-ish. Then we make a little ramp. Let's put it... That'll probably be good enough. Ish. Breath of the Wild had a motorcycle, yeah. It's weird in this game how they have all these Zonai devices, but it feels like the NPCs don't, or the world itself doesn't interact with it much. Why isn't there a quest where there's a Goron who wishes he was a Zora and he's flying around in a wing with 2 fans? Probably would have to be more than 2 because he's a Goron, but I wish there was like more NPC interaction with the Zonai stuff. Obviously the Yiga use it, but no one else. Why is there not a guy selling rocket jetpacks? It's a shame only enemies use it. Yeah, and I don't really... I think it is a shame. Because it also makes it feel so disconnected to the rest of the world. So we have to be on this. Okay, maybe that one would actually be kind of annoying to do. Have I got anything near this one? Not really. I also don't remember where the thing is for that one. Is it just this? Or that? Okay, we won't do that one. This one. Well, that was the one I was planning to do and then didn't do. Wait, you can go underneath in Zora's domain. Let me see where that takes me. Do you guys think we'll get a remake or remaster before we get the next big Zelda? I think a lot of people were expecting stuff for Zelda month. Zelda month? for the anniversary. Zelda month. Probably another remaster of Twilight Princess, yeah. I don't know why I was talking about Zelda month. We'll hop down. Nope. I guess maybe the implication is that the Yiga do all the stuff, because there are Zonai deposit stuff, they have like a bunch of the devices underground. And that's why they're the only ones who use it. Okay, so we can go up here. I think we'll do this and then we'll call it quits. And we'll stream again on Saturday. At pretty much the same time. Thanks for coming, Cats of Nasty. And I hope you have a nice sleep. Getting a bit late. Well, not that late, but it is about 9:10 for me. We'll just quickly do this. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Although I have been wrong about the depths before. Is this a place I went to? Please don't tell me this was... No, I don't think it was. That would be embarrassing if I walked straight past this. There's a goal. How many more have we got left? It feels like we haven't done that many, but that is inevitable when we start getting to the end. Because I have left the meanest for last. The flag is there? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Unless I marked it for other reasons. 30 goals. How many did I think I had 41 to do. I'm not sure. 30. So, we did do an entire temple. I think it said we had Spirit Temple to do. Well, we can look. Queen Gibdo should be pretty easy. We've just got to get there. Master Koga, only defeat him once. So we haven't got to get that far into the quest. Spirit Temple might not be too bad. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. This might be annoying. Potential princess sightings, definitely annoying. We've got to do all of them. Monster collection. I don't know what these involve, but I did read that I had to do a different quest in Tarrytown, and then I can start the monster collection stuff. This one, oh, actually, you know what? Let's quickly do this while I remember. I'm pretty sure I just have to give 10 eggs to this woman. Is that the one where you have to take pictures of monsters? Maybe? Or maybe it's monster bits? It's for the guy who loves monsters. I know that much. But I think you have to do... No, it must be, because I think it's for the statue things. I say that I've actually never done the statues at all, at any point. But I'm sure that's probably just taking pictures. An acorn. There we go. Look at that. That was pretty quick. Right. Well, thank you everyone for coming. This has actually been one of my favorite streams. Mainly because all of you guys have interacted so much. It's been, it has been really fun. But we'll be streaming again on Saturday, and then obviously Sunday we'll do Mario Kart World. And Waikuteru will be streaming tomorrow. Yeah, she gave me 1 acorn for 10 eggs. Waikuteru will be streaming this tomorrow. He'll go over more over the update. He did tell me some of the stuff in the update, but it's probably best for him to explain the things. And then I assume we'll both be streaming on Saturday. Yes, the stream is done. Over 3 hours, I think. Yeah, 3 hours, 15 minutes. Normally I just do 3 hours. And then Mario Kart on Sunday. But thank you for watching. There'll obviously be a video on Saturday. Just a weapons video for Saturday. And obviously we'll be streaming. Some cool weapons there. There's a fairy sword. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.